All right. This is attempt number 3 at recording. This had better work. I recorded a half hour the first time and then imported it to Sony Premiere. Realized the microphone had stopped recording after 30 seconds. I did find a fix for it online, and I've tested that fix, so this should be working. It's a problem with USB microphones, so just the Blue Yeti that I have specifically. But man, was it frustrating. It's like, 30 minutes of my life wasted. And now I have to redo those 30 minutes just to show you guys what I did. So, we crafted these things last time. I crafted the invar sickle manually, and then for the other ones I used this interface to craft them. And it didn't show up there, but there was a manual detect button here, and I found out they can be anywhere in your inventory, and manual detect will work. And what we did after that was, we also made, I just put those recipes in here, and we do need more of those upgrades. Upgrade for those. Right, it needs that raw plastic. It's kind of confusing remembering where I was, because stuff. A jungle tree sapling. How am I getting those? I planted rubber wood. What's going on? We made this 4K fluid storage as well. It's just got sludge in it, which we made this fluid monitor to see. I'll put it right there. So now we can see that we have 22 buckets of sludge. If you put a bucket in here, it'll take out a bucket of sludge. And this happens to be what we need for this quest. And we can manually detect it. And now we get tomato or bean seeds. I've already got ender lily. I'm gonna go with tomato. Now we've got this super awesome flux infused sickle, which I don't really know how to use, except that I know it's more powerful than it needs to be. Like, you can get a whole field of like 11 by 11 field. Maybe not that big, but it does a wide area of sickling. Default sickles will do 3 by 3 in front of you. Flux infused sickles will do a large amount. I think 5 by 5 at least. And it does silk touch, because you would want silk touch on your sickles? I sure wouldn't. That would give you all kinds of buggy stuff that you can't get normally. Anyways, once you have a bucket of something, you can just stick it back in here to get rid of it. And we made these a fluid interface and a regular interface. They're going into a tesseract. Tesseract is on one frequency. We've got power coming on this frequency here too. And we are also using some power here because I didn't feel like running a cable up the side of the building. This is the main stuff that I did between episodes. For this induction smelter, you need to make sure that you have blocking mode set on your interface, and you can't do it like that because this needs to directly touch the inventory of the induction smelter. What this will stop from happening is if it's it puts the ingredients in as it makes them. So like for hardened glass, it'll pulverize stuff, but it'll have the lead ingot already. So it'll stick the lead ingot in first and then wait for the pulverized obsidian And if in that time you were to request some Enderium ingots and you didn't have this set, if you had it like the default, then it would try to stick the contents, the ingredients for Enderium in there as well, without realizing that, oh, I'm already trying to craft something. So you definitely need it on blocking mode. And that's just standard input from the top, output at the bottom. Bottom, there's a precision import bus. This one here, you put all of your ingredients in this top chest. There's a servo in this item duct that is constantly pulling stuff out. And it won't split up like a single stack of items. For example, if you requested 64 pulverized tin, it would probably stick that all in one pulverizer. But if you had more than 64, or if you had two different types of things, like if you wanted pulverized tin and pulverized shiny metal at the same time, it could do those two at the same time. And you can extend this infinitely just by adding more pulverizers, ducts, and conduit. And that is super awesome, although it does get a bit laggy around here. And the same thing over here. I taught it how to make the processors first because that was super useful. And what I want to do, we'll save what I want to do for next time. I moved this slightly, but this is the same setup as before, just moved. This was the big thing. And then the harvesters and stuff over here. Which I'm very sad that you guys missed this. And also kind of happy that there's grass, like long grass growing here. So in the middle here, there's a planter. It's one down. I put this water here just in case I decide to change this to something that needs hydrating later, like the carrots over here. But then I also added the sprinklers. Sprinklers will hydrate things within the area. It's a 9x9 area, I believe. And they'll also increase the growth rates of things. So by default, the planter just does a 3x3, so that would be one row less in the middle there. But I've given it and the harvester the radius 1 upgrade. Now radius, remember some basic math, is half of the diameter, so it's just in one direction. So it's an increase in 1 in each direction. So it goes from being a 3x3 to a 5x5. And for the harvester, the area is just in front of it. So it covers that whole area because it's smart like that. The harvester will also produce some sludge, which is getting pumped back into this tesseract into the computer, which I showed you already. And this tesseract is set to send items, fluids, and receive power. And how I've done this in here is I've just put, rather than using filters, I just turned consume stack off, so it'll never use the last rubber tree sapling in here. So it'll never have an empty space to put anything else, like wood or leaves or anything else really. And I just filled the rest with dirt just to, so that I don't have 16 stacks of saplings sitting in here doing nothing. And I got carrots over here. This will get auto-tilled by the planter. You don't have to manually till. And I believe that... Oh, this isn't working properly. Why are you not working? Why are you not working? What's going on here? Oh. Right, because I forgot to do a step, I think. Go down. Yes. It's hard to see, but that one's pointing out, and this one I don't think is. So I just have to change that and turn it on. I already put a servo in, and that should go. Yep, that's going. Let's just watch it do its stuff. And man, lag. So I am sorry that you guys missed all of the setup for this, although I'm kind of happy now because it was mostly just me fumbling around being useless as per the norm. I want to check if it just right clicks on them or if it picks them up and places new ones. So come on. You can grow. There we go. Let's watch this one. The harvester will get to it pretty quickly. Oh, totally picks it up. There are, at least in the last version, there were a few plants from Pam's Harvest Craft where it would just right click on them, and others that it would fully pick up. So you end up with very different amounts of seeds. And also I'm aware that the sprinkler is not getting to the edge rows of these two. Oh, we've got some wild berries. Perfect. This was dirt before, and I used a grass seed, which we got from this one here, which we got from sieving dirt very early on. Episode 1 or 2, we got that. And I finally got around to putting it there. I also finally made myself a pool. So now I can properly demonstrate saving myself from the void. Geronimo! Pool. You do have to do it quickly, but it's there to save your life if you do fall off. And later on, once you have really good armor, you'll have more time to react. Especially with the blood armor, there's there's some things you can do to it to make it reduce the amount of damage you take while in the void, specifically. Which is pretty cool. And I decided to combine these two into one Tesseract. In my previous single-player world, I had like one Tesseract per farm, but since I'm going to do these smaller farms, it's going to be like ridiculous if I have that many. And I want to do smaller farms because then the machines will keep up with them faster. I did have a max size farm before, which is 25 by 25, and the planter would just take forever to plant things. Like half of the farm would stay empty just because the harvester got to it before the planter did, and you know, just stuff happens. However the sweep algorithms work. So that was that. We're gonna add some fences around this in between episodes. In fact, I'll probably take a break right now and I'll gather up all this stuff, get some fences, and then get prepared for the next part of it, which will be teaching the computer how to fill things like the tesseracts and conduits and stuff like that. So I'll be right back. Hey guys, I am back briefly. I just got a chicken. So what we're gonna make is a really useful thing called a golden lasso. There it is, golden lasso. And it's gonna need, put it here. Gonna need an ender pearl, which are not being imported into the system yet, unfortunately. I'll probably change that off camera. Although I do want to change that system completely also. And craft one. There we go. This golden lasso is super useful when it comes to animals because you can pick them up and put them wherever you want. Also, I've been getting a bunch of stuff just from, I guess the sprinkler is just close enough to generate some growth over here. Although I'm not sure how. Doesn't look like it is. Like, it looks like it just stops like midway here. But whatever. It's working. And I might end up moving this somewhere else so it's not in sprinkler range, because I don't really like having to come in and do that. This is just going to be primarily a sheep, cow, pig, and chicken pen. I might expand it a couple more. Right now it's 6x6. I might make it 8x8 just so they're not too crowded. And also I realized I glossed over the tesseracts. I did explain that more in the original video that I recorded that got lost. So the tesseract is made from bronze and silver and a tesseract frame full. You get that by putting 4 ender pearls worth of enderium of liquid resonant ender into an empty frame, and you get that from hardened glass and enderium. The hardened glass we know how to make. The enderium, however, is a bit more tricky. You need enderium blend and pyrotheum dust. Enderium blend is made from resonant ender buckets, and the pulverized shiny and tin. And you get the buckets from, well, it doesn't show it here, but you can liquid transpose resonant ender in, oh, there it is, fluid transpose into a bucket, and that's all I did. And then you use that to make that. And then blazing pyrotheum dust is equally tricky because it requires sulfur and pulverized coal. Luckily you can get these both from pulverizing coal, but there's only a 10% chance of getting that sulfur. So until we have a better source of sulfur, we're gonna have a whole bunch of extra pulverized coal, and the only better source of sulfur is nether sulfur ore. Yeah. Or bees, of course. The Dante Queen. Or caustic or acidic or caustic or the Dante Queen. So what I'm going to do in between episodes, oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. What I want to do is start moving some of this stuff. I want to move the juicer over, and anything that is infinitely craftable. I haven't shown you guys this, but this paintbrush is infinitely craftable, and that's how I made the blue bricks. Just this way. I used just regular stone bricks, none of this fancy stuff, with a lapis in there and the paintbrush, and the paintbrush doesn't take any durability. So it's another one of those that I'm going to want in a special place. And also later on there will be blood magic stuff that we're going to want in a special place as well. And to set this up, we're going to need a storage bus, just one. Takes a few seconds to craft, unless it's waiting on something. It's melting. There, it's done. Oh, cancel. And we need a chest as well. Still got that chicken in that lasso. I'm not exactly sure where I want to put this, but for now it's going to be right here. And you want to shift that in. And what you want to do is tell this to only allow the whitelisted items. And you give it just these items. And you also have to set the priority of this higher. I'll do 256 for the highest priority. That way, when you use that to make something like carrot juice, and we'll put it on the last page. So now it knows how to make carrot juice. It's gonna pull the thing out of the storage, use it, and then put it right back, because this is the highest priority storage and it's allowed in here. And there's going to be a bunch of items from Pam's Hungercraft that will do this. Let's actually look, or Harvest Craft. See if I can find any. Cutting board is one. That's not what it looks like though, unless they've changed the aesthetic. Cutting board, bakeware, skillet, pot, saucepan, mixing bowl. There's the real cutting board. And there's a few other things like this paintbrush. I think that the blood orbs from Blood Magic will also go in here, but it's a small enough number that a single chest should be able to do it, no problem. And next episode, or between episodes, I'm going to try to get up, I'll bone meal that grass to get a whole bunch of seeds. Probably spend 2 or 3 stacks of the bone meal bags, so like this much bone meal, just bone mealing that grass to get every possible seed or berry. And then I'll start farms for most of those. I might split them up because there's some that are less used than others, like the berries are less used, melons are more used. So yeah, between now and next episode I'll be setting up a whole whack of farms, and I'll be getting ready to show you guys how to get your computer to make more food for you. And I'll try to get a couple of cows if I can. So mild mushrooms, perfect. I'll just show you how those works, like that. I could actually make this area even bigger. I'll also be experimenting with out of room. I'll be experimenting with the fruit picker, and I'll probably get it an Enderium upgrade, which is the top level one. Oh, wait. Cobble is a -1 upgrade. That's interesting. If you just want it to do the 1 block in front of it, I guess. So we know how to make this stuff now, and my system knows how to make it, so that's a bonus. Pardon me. So we'll get one of these, so it covers a 25 by 25 area, and then I'll do 5 by 5 plants. So that'll be 5. No, more than 5. 5 by 5. 25. Oh man, math. So I'll plant 25 different kinds of fruit tree. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I also need to make a whole bunch more dirt and farm more trees and shear them. And what I actually might do is change this to oak and change shearing to on. With shearing on, you don't get any saplings. Like with normal shears you do, like if you're doing it yourself, but with the harvester you don't. So the planter will run out quickly. So I might do a bunch of grinding between now and tomorrow to get that up to snuff and where I want it to be. I also might move this and a few other things. I'll also Actually, let's do this right now before I forget. I want to show you how to do words, the auto-filling of stuff. Alright, that's close enough. I think I did make an extra, yeah. I did not make an extra fluid transposer, I think, though. So we'll make one of those. And we also need an interface. And an import bus. Just a basic one will do. And we'll see if anything's waiting. Nope, nothing is waiting. Fluid. Import. And int. There we go. And do I have any cables? Of course not. Why would I have cables? Why would I have cables? Actually, we should be able to do it right here. So that it doesn't... Hello? Alright, we'll do it right here for now, and I'll move it between episodes. So we're going to want... Actually, this is going to be kind of a funky setup. Just for now. Gonna want the fluid transposer. Actually, we can put that up one. Oh no, that one's right. No, it's not right. Conflicting statements. We'll put the magma one on the bottom, the fluid one on the top, the interface above that, and we'll put the import bus here. And we actually need one more piece, an export bus, which that'll do. It doesn't need to be precision, it can be a basic export. And we'll put that one on the bottom. We could easily just put it on the side there. So we're going to change this to take an input from the bottom, output to the top. Take input from the bottom and the top, output to the side. I don't know what's yellow there. Is that... Nothing is yellow. That's interesting. So, and then we'll teach it something like bucket equals Enderium bucket. I don't have an Enderium bucket though. I use them all. And we'll teach it how to do that. Put bucket equals Enderium bucket. Make the recipe. Come up here, put it in there, and in this export bus we will put ender pearls, and we'll just have it on move singles, so it'll fill this thing up with ender pearls until it can't, until it's full. It has a stack of 16 in here, and the full thing there, and this one will be full, and then it'll just export more as we use it. So there will be a few. Let's calculate how many will be stuck in this system. 4 is 1,000. So that's 40, 80 plus 16, 96 ender pearls will just be stuck in here. But then we'll be able to use it as we please. And you'll want to do this for redstone and glowstone as well. Glowstone doesn't have as many uses, but there's a few. You can make the impulse ducts. You can teach you how to do that. I can teach you how to do item ducts, and illuminators I'll teach you how to do too. But that's it for glowstone. But anyways, we're going to do that next time. And also in between episodes, I'm going to set up a place for the animals. And maybe build some more machines to do with that. Maybe. We'll see. And that's enough rambling for now. I'm glad I finally got this recording bug fixed. Yay. Happy dance. Woo! Alright. See you next time, guys.